and we'll get started. All right, so as we take a good seat, I don't know if you can see, but my blanket's pretty high this morning because, well, I was outside and active, so my hips are a little bit tighter. So adjust accordingly. What is it that you did this weekend that maybe you could use a little support for, and choose to support yourself. So as you shift your sitting bones, taking that good seat, rest your hands down on your legs and give a little bit of pressing into your legs. This is one of the ways that we can start to ground. And as we head into fall and it's the air and ether time of year, we actually need to purposely ground so that we can feel stable, so we can feel supported. And so as you shift your hips a little bit, move them around a little bit, feel your sitting bones, feel the contact that you have with the ground. So what parts of your legs are touching the ground, or maybe you're sitting in a chair and your feet are touching the ground. Just notice for yourself. And now add a little bit of movement up and back of your shoulders. Let your eyes close and take a couple deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. And now bring your hands to connected heart center, gently pressing palms together. Lift your heart up high. Take a deep inhale here. Lengthen the back of your neck. Exhale, bow toward your heart. And softly opening your eyes, release your hands down. And again, gently draw your shoulders up and back, and then take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a couple big breaths here, and gently move your left shoulder down your back a few times. So a little shoulder roll on the left side. Inhale back up to center, and exhale left ear to left shoulder. And roll your right shoulder down your back a few times. Then inhale back up to center. Keep your shoulder blades hugging onto your back. Tuck your chin down. And then just a gentle shake of your head no toward the ground. Inhale, lifting up tall through the back of your neck. Now palms turn up, hug your elbows in, and then rotate with your upper arm bones, gratitude arms here. Take a couple big breaths, and as you move further back with your thumbs, feel your ribs as they start to move forward, and then engage them, drawing a little energy into your core. Low belly, low ribs engage. Inhale, shoulders lift. Your head and back of your neck are long. And now bring your fingertips to connect in front of you, round your back, tuck your chin in, and then add a little bit of side to side movement here. Inhale, sit tall, switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself, and then move your sitting bones. And now right hand comes across to your left knee or thigh, left fingertips beside you or behind you. Press down and lift your ribs. As you exhale, draw your low ribs in to help you twist just a little bit more. Take a full big breath. Inhale, come back into center. And exhale, taking that twist across to the other side. Pressing your right fingertips down behind you, lift up higher through your sides. Then use your low ribs pulling in to help you twist just a little bit more. Inhale, come back into center. Elbows hug against your sides again. Rotate with your upper arm bones, gratitude arms, and then add up and down movement through shoulder blades. And now shoulder blades snug onto your back. Take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Re-rotate your left upper arm bone, thumb moving toward the back wall, or to the wall behind you rather. And then tuck your chin down slightly. So you have that head tilt and the chin tucking down. Take a big deep breath. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Re-rotate your right arm. So your thumb is moving further back, and tuck your chin down. Big deep breath. Inhale, come back up to center. Hands in front again, fingertips press, elbows lift up towards shoulder height. Now take a big exhale, draw your low ribs in, pulling in through your low ribs to expand your upper back into a cat-like pose. Tuck your chin in. A little bit of movement here side to side through your ribs, your shoulders. And now inhale, rise up tall, shift forward onto your hands and your knees. And from hands and knees, make sure you have props ready for you. But step your right foot forward in between your hands. You can always add blocks underneath your hands here if you would like. Take a couple big breaths and extend through your heart, moving your rib cage forward. And then notice your right hip. Wrap your right hip back and down. Glute medius at work there. You'll even notice maybe a little bit of action of your arm, or your leg, your knee toward the pinky toe edge of your foot. Take a big deep breath. Good. So now we're going to take our back leg at an angle. So you're turning your left knee and your foot so it's off to the right side. Right hand comes to the inside of your right leg onto a block if you want, or it can be on the floor if that feels better. But your right arm and your right leg are right up against each other. Left hand to your hip as you start to take this beginning version of a side angle pose. But ultimately we're twisting to the left side. Wrap your right glute down and under. Take a big deep breath, grow longer through your spine. Then exhale, both hands come back down to the ground. You can send your right or your left leg more straight back behind you again. Set your left hand on a block or the floor, right on the edge of your mat. Right hand to your knee as you take your twist to the right side. Shoulder blades are on your back. Take a deep breath. Good. 2 more full deep breaths right here. Then exhale, both hands come back down to the ground. Settle back onto hands and knees, and then just pause for a moment. Moving through a cat and cow, or if you'd like to, you can add a barrel roll here through your rib cage. If you'd like to do the barrel roll, exhale, your ribs lift. So you're coming into a cat-like pose. Inhale, circle your ribs out to the left side, down toward the ground, and exhale up the right. Inhale, circle to the left, and exhale up the right. And then switch directions. Inhale, down the right, exhale up the left. And now come back to a neutral place for your spine and step forward with your left foot in between your hands. And again, you can always have blocks here if you would like. Work your back knee back as far as you need, maybe a little extra length there for your back thigh, and then send your heart forward. Wrap your left hip back and down. Take a full big breath. And now turning your back leg so your toes are off to the left side. You're going to bring your hand, left hand into the inside of your left leg on a block or the floor, your choice. Right hand comes to your hip as you take that side angle pose variation facing the right side. Wrap your left hip, wrap your glute down and under, finding that action of your leg turning a little bit to the pinky toe edge. Take a big deep breath. On your exhale, both hands come down to the inside. You can send your right leg straight back, your knee and toes back behind you. And then bring your right hand to a block or the floor on the outside edge of your mat. Left hand to your knee as you start to turn your belly and your heart open to the left side. Put both shoulder blades on your back. Take a full breath. Good. Next, exhale, both hands come all the way down to the ground. You're going to settle back onto your hands and knees. Big toes together, knees wide, settle hips back toward your heels into a child's pose. And as you settle into your child's pose, we have about 3 breaths here. Just take the time with your breath to shift and move. Sense what's happening in your body for you. Now inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. Set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. And now we're going to take opposites. Inhale your right leg back behind you and your left arm forward. Pull your low ribs in, pull your low belly in. Take a big deep breath. Extend your chest further forward. Reach through your fingertips and then plug in with your shoulder blade. Draw it onto your back. Take one more big breath as you tone your core. Engage your low belly, your low ribs. Think of your back body expanding. Exhale, left hand down, right knee down. Inhale, left leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Take a big breath here. Tone your low belly and your low ribs. Plug in with your shoulder blade even as you reach through your fingertips. Reach out through your heel even as you pull in with your thigh bone. Take one more big breath, engage around your core, your whole core. Think of your back body expanding. And exhale, both hands, both knees come down. Settle back one more time for a quick child's pose. Take 2 deep breaths. And then inhale, rise up to hands and knees. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose, and then pedal out with your knees, bending one knee at a time, checking in with the back sides of your legs. And now from your hands and knees, or not from your hands and knees, from your downward dog, or if you would prefer to be on your hands and knees, you can, lift your right leg up behind you. Turn open with your hips. You're lifting your right hip up. Stay steady and strong with your shoulders. As you bend your right knee and push your heel toward the left side, notice your left knee and turn it more forward. Take a big deep breath right here, and from your lats, push out through your hands. On your exhale, set your right foot down. Inhale, lift your left leg. Turn open with your hip, bend your knee, and push your heel toward the right side. Stay steady and strong through your shoulders, and again, push out through your hands. Turn your right knee more forward. On your exhale, set your left foot down, and now take as many steps forward as you need to take to come into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Feet are inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then push them down. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips, push your hips back, start to lift and open through your shoulders. Inhale, rise up. Good. So now we're going to take a twist in a balance. So if you'd like to use a wall, you're welcome to. Or you can test your balance without anything to hold on to. That's okay too. Your choice. And you can always choose to switch. So now find your balance onto your left foot and bring your right knee up into your hands. Pause for a moment. Flex your foot. Wrap your right hip down and give your standing knee a little bend. Good. So now as you lift your sides, put your shoulder blades onto your back. You're going to keep a hold of your right knee with your left hand. Right thumb comes into your hip crease. Give your hip crease a push down as you lift your chest and start to turn your belly and your heart toward the right side. Take an exhale, draw your low ribs in. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, low ribs in to help you twist maybe a tiny bit more. If you want to, you can stretch your right arm straight out from your shoulder. Take a big deep breath. Inhale, come back into center. Both hands hold your knee, give it a squeeze. And with control, exhale, lower your foot back to the ground. And you can shake it out. So now if you're holding on to something here for this twist, then think about having the wall or a chair on the side of your twist, the direction you're twisting to. So now, right foot balance, left knee comes into your hands. And as you hold your knee, pause here and flex your left foot. Drop your left hip down. Little bend to your right knee. Lift your chest, lift your heart. And then keep a hold of your left knee with your right hand as you start to turn your belly and your heart to the left. Take your left thumb into your hip crease, give it a push, and lengthen your sides. Take an exhale, low ribs draw in to help you twist just a little bit more. Maybe you stretch your left arm straight out from your shoulder. Just avoid trying to reach back with it. Take a big inhale here, big exhale, low ribs draw in to help you twist. Inhale, come back into center. Squeeze your knee in. And exhale with control, lowering your foot back down. Good job. Feet in or hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and push. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant your fingertips. Step your right foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your right heel. And now we're going to take our side angle pose from here. You can always come back to your back knee being on the ground if you want, but otherwise you can set elbow on your knee. You can bring your hand to a block, or if you have a little more space, you're welcome to put fingers on the floor, okay? So now as you bend into your left knee, wrap your left glute down and under, turn your belly and your heart to the right side, and maybe stretch your top arm over your ear. Take a big deep breath. Oh, teacher faux pas, my phone's ringing. Don't worry, I'm not going to answer it. Take a big full inhale, long deep exhale. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the ground and tuck your back toes here. Your back knee can stay lifted or it can come down. You're going to set right hand on the floor or your block, left hand to your knee, and take your twist to the left side. Shoulder blades on your back, full deep inhale, long full exhale. Stretch your left arm up if it feels good. But then notice left hip and wrap it back and down. Notice your right toes, push them into the ground and lift your right hip up. Big deep breath. Next exhale, both hands come down to the ground and now step back into a plank pose. And you're welcome here to have your knees on the ground. That's always an option. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Extend your chest. Take a deep breath. And then just notice if you do have your knees on the ground, make sure they're back behind your hips, that you're working your body toward that angle where your butt isn't sticking up, because that does make it a little bit easier. We're trying to work our core a little bit of heat. Full deep inhale, long full exhale. Good, one more big breath right here. Push your hands down, expand your upper back, send your chest forward. Good, next exhale, downward facing dog pose, deep breath. And now walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Plant your fingertips, step your left foot back into your lunge. Turn and plant your left heel, and now you have those options. Elbow to your right knee, hand to a block, or fingertips to the floor. Your choice. Find that bend to your knee where your shin is stacked straight up and down over your arch, and then wrap your glute so much that maybe if your hand is on the floor or on a block, then your knee is bumping right into your arm. Turn your belly, turn your heart to the left side, and then maybe stretch straight up or over your ear, whichever feels the best. Take a deep breath. Next exhale, both hands come down to the floor or your blocks, your choice. Tuck your back toes, set your left hand on a block or the floor, right hand to your knee, and then from right here, even out your hips. Send your right hip crease back in space. Push your left toes down and lift your left hip up. Try to keep those two actions even as you turn your belly and your heart to the right side, and then maybe stretch up if that feels good. Take a deep breath. One more full deep inhale, long full exhale. Then setting both hands on the ground, step back into your plank pose again. And again, you can always have knees on the ground. Rotate elbow pits forward, extend your chest, take a full breath. Good, as you pull your low belly and your low ribs in, extend your chest even more. Keep rotating elbow pits forward. One more deep breath. Then knees down, hips to heels, take a child's pose. Work arms back alongside your body if that feels good. Let your shoulders drape down. Take 3 more deep breaths right here. Then inhale, gently push yourself up to your seat. And now as you come down onto your back, make sure that you have a block handy. And pull your knees up close to your chest. Rock a couple times side to side. And now take a block, and it can be a pillow even. A block is sometimes nice because it's a little bit more sturdy. In between your legs, and now you're going to create a 90 degree angle. So you have a tabletop with your legs. Feet are flexed. Your hands come to your upper thighs right by your hip creases and give your thighs a push. Try to push them away from you, but resist. As you push them away from you, you might notice that your low back lifts a little bit off the ground, and allow that to happen, but tone your low belly and tone your low ribs to support your low back. The harder you push, the more you work. What I want you to avoid doing is flattening your low back against the ground. It's kind of older school stuff that they would do in physical fitness. Now we know that that's counter to what our low back needs. So keep a little lift of your low back and tone around it. Think of squeezing in with all the muscles around your core. Take a big deep breath. Good, and then gently release, pull your knees up close to your chest and rock a little. And now footprints to the floor, take them out wider than your mat and slowly drop your knees side to side. Right, favorite of all favorite twists here that also helps to reset the nervous system. Windshield wipers, take one more on each side. And then walk your feet back in, and from here you can pick whatever prop you need to come to rest out into Shavasana. So feel free to add a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees. Feel free to add something underneath your neck for support. Take a moment to settle in and begin to notice the sensations that you've created in your practice. Begin to notice anything that has shown up for you, whether that's physically in the body or maybe it's thoughts in the mind. Begin to take a deeper breath. And gently add movement into fingers and into toes. And slowly bend your knees, roll over to one side. And gently push yourself back up to your seat. Connect palms together at heart center, and with your eyes closed, take a moment to notice the connection that you have with the ground. And from that connection, sit just a little taller. Take an inhale, lengthen up through the back of your neck. Exhale, bow toward your heart. Have a very peaceful, beautiful, grounded rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.